These are the pictures made from the amino acid in a salt environment. Am I correct? The scientist who's done it sitting right in front of me. Can we see the next picture? Look at the shape.
Give me a minute here.
Look at the shape of this material. It's vitally important to understand this. We have different amino acids from zinc, different zincs, but all in the condition of the salt. If you look at this, just shrink these because I'm going to show you something. Minimize these very, very rapidly, please. This will bring you the knowledge of the creation, how man turns up to be as it is. Yeah, reduce the other one. There's 4 of them, if you can put next to each other. You see, these are very much a spherical shape. These are the parts which have not touched the physicality of the structure of the body of the planet. You see how these things will add up, and for the first time human race understands why we take this shape on this planet. Why do we have different parts of body in this planet? You need to make them much, much smaller, please. Put them 4 next to each other on the top, if you can. Next to each other on the top line, please.
Oh, okay.
So if you look at it, this looks like a plasma. This is a drop of amino acid. As we discussed, we will say that 90 drops makes 1 gram, roughly. So according to the scientific data with our code number that we know how many atoms are in 1 gram, the structure you see is made of millions of atoms, trillions of atoms. And this is important that we see the structure. This is important that we understand what is and how it is. If you are born or life starts with the gaseous part of it, this is the shape we will have. This is the shape of the body of the man. This is shape of our brain structure. This is as long as the amino acid has not interacted in gravitational magnetic field levels with the physical part, but in a salt solution. That is, no minerals, no other things added to it. I've sent you a picture with a copper oxide. You see it, CuO. Can you put this at the bottom of the page, please? If you look at the pictures which are going at the bottom, you will understand something very, very interesting. Do you have it, please, Rick?
Excuse me, where is that picture, Mr. Keshe?
I have sent you CuO pictures. CuO pictures.
Previously or in a different place?
Have you received 5 pages? How many pictures have you received?
4 pictures of these, as you show me here. And before that was just the picture of the new buildings.
I'm going to send you pictures which I want you to show. Okay. just let me, I have to save it that I can send it to you. Okay, what I'm going to send you the picture now. If you place these pictures one at a time, you will understand where we are going. What I want you to do is this picture. Yes, you got this picture now. If you can display it. Have you received two pictures?
Yes, let me just get that lined up. I'll get the first one lined up here. Okay, you can see that on the desktop there. I'll get the other one beside it, I guess. Is that okay to obscure the other two, or do you want them shown?
Yeah, reduce this to the bottom, please.
Okay. And we have another one similar, put beside it. Okay.
Okay. What I want you to do, turn these pictures 90 degrees upwards. Just
The
turn
last
them.
two?
Yes, please.
Okay. That way?
Yeah. And the other one?
Can turn that one another 180 degrees and make it look similar
Yeah.
to the other one.
Turn that 180 degrees, please.
Like that?
Yeah. And then I'm going to send you another picture. Then I think some of you have started seeing what I'm trying to explain. That is, you can see the materials which are in there, and very, very interesting. The interesting part about this is that if you look at the physicality, you see the amino acid. All the pictures you see are set in salt. So this is a condition when man came to point where life as an amino acid started. When it comes in touch, if you look at the copper, if you look at the zinc, if you look at the CO2, as the life has come in touch, amino acid, the physical part of the planet has dictated the change in the structure of the amino acid. Let me explain why and how. As we know, all our muscles are made of copper. This is a middle picture. Our emotional part is connected to zinc. Interaction of clarity of the information carrier is with CO2. Have a look at interesting point, which is this. Look at this line. I want to increase this. I cannot get. I'm losing what I'm looking for here. I want to option. I don't know. Okay. I have the option. I have done that. Okay, I'm here now. Got it. Have a look at this line. Have a look at these lines. Have a look at, there is no line with CO2. What does this mean? This means that when the amino acid, the brain part of the entity of the life, the emotional and the soul in the center of this dot, this is a two-dimensional. In the center of this dot, because it's an amino acid, there is a hole, there is a point of reference. We've seen this with your dynamic cores, where you have the physicality at the outside, ganses, then the water, that empty space. The same thing applies to all these. But what is happening is now that the amino acid, the emotional physicality of the entity of the amino acid is created, in coming in touch with the physical part, which is the copper, which is the main part of the structure of our muscles and everything else, the division in two parts of this entity, if I can use a thicker line, you can see the division part of this entity, this side and this side, has forced the division in the cell. And this is one of the reasons why we have a split brain. Is the matter state of the planet which has forced the two half sphere of the brain of the man. You see it with the amino acid too, of the zinc. You see with the line of CO2, that's why it works with everything, is total clarity and non-dimensional. So for the first time, man understands the creation of the two spheres, half of the brain of the man, is forced due to the copper, due to the physicality part. You have two halves, nearly the same. If you look at all the structures, you see a line of division. This is when it turns in the right way. If you look at it, this becomes the half which fits into there. And this initiates the structure of the change of the body of the man to two half of the brain and the other half of physicality as we see it. So this is what I said in all the teaching. It's the environment and the material at the point of destination which dictates the physicality manifestation of the entity. Now you see it for the first time. Now you understand why we have two half spherical shape in our brain. Why we operate in two half with two legs and two arms and everything else. Is the content of the physicality which has dictated that. The matter content of the physical part of this planet has dictated this. That's why a fish, a cat, a dog, any animal which goes through the path of the hemoglobin in interaction with the iron will follow this path. We'll see this anytime. This is why out of nowhere you see some rain comes and a fish appears, has 2 brain and kidney and the rest of it. It's the automatic function of what is embedded in the structure of the amino acid. Go back to the teaching of the last week, where we spoke about the energy from the interaction of the sun and the earth, which led to the creation of the amino acid on this planet. Then the energy of the solar system with the galaxy, which brings its own energy condition. Then in the future, man will understand a very simple thing, that part of this amino acid information belongs to the universe, to the galaxy, and the rest of it. So in our amino acid, which is the creator of the structure of the backbone of the being on this planet, in conjunction with its physicality, for the first time we understand why any creature which needs to exist on this planet has to follow the same pattern. When you go to planet Zeus, and the copper is not there, but there is another element. The shape of the physical part dictates the operation of the gaseous. For the first time, maybe man understands why we are in this condition and why we are 99% and whatever the same as each other. It's the copper primarily which decides this process, because our muscle tissues are made of it. It's the split in the copper that has forced the split to bring a balance in the hemoglobin of the brain of the man, in conjunction with the emotional part, with the amino acid, which dictates the 2-half operation.